What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We got big news coming here. If you haven't seen already, we made a big change here in the middle of the season, but we couldn't pass up an opportunity to join a group like the Sick Podcast. We are here. We're ready to rock and roll with the Sick crew. We'll be back next year, and we're going to be amping it up even more. But if you do not know us yet, we will do a brief introduction, and then we're going to hop into the nightmare that you probably all are still experiencing from the last month, essentially now.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Talking Titans.
Ladies and gentlemen, 94 yards. Touchdown, Titans! He is the baddest man in the NFL, and he just took her to the house.
The sickest Tennessee Titans podcast.
Sick!
It's gonna be sick.
So I'll gladly start. My name is Sal Manfredi. You could find me on Twitter at Sal Manfredi, SalManFredi. I've been a Titans fan since, before they were even a team in Tennessee. My dad was an Oilers fan in the mid-'70s. I was lucky enough to want to follow the team that my dad loved, and the rest is really history. And here I am 29 years later, still screaming and crying and cheering for this team that resides in Nashville. So I'm happy to be here with you guys, and I'll pass it over to one of my co-hosts, Jarrett.
What's going on, guys? My name is Jarrett Foote. My handle on Twitter is J13Foote, Foote, also known as NJ Titans fan. Like my friends bust my chops all the time with my handle. I've been a Titans fan since '99, since McNair and Eddie George, all of them, they changed their logo to the famous, T with the flaming T. They were in the Super Bowl, so I just love that whole era with the Titans defense and how McNair played, through injury, and we had Dyson and Mason and George and Wycheck. It was just an elite offense back then, and just stuck with me ever since. So the misery continues.
That's it. And Vincent.
How you guys doing? My name's Vincent Lombard. My handle on Twitter is Lucky Lombardi, just like the Lombardi Trophy. I became a Titans fan. Don't say that, you fucking. Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm already interrupting you.
Yeah, it didn't even start yet, kid. Jesus. Anyways, I am from South Jersey, right outside Philly. I was born in Philly, surrounded by Eagles fans my whole life, but started following football as an 8 or 9 year old kid, and it's right when the Titans moved from Houston to Nashville, and believe they were the Tennessee Oilers for a year or so. But first game I ever really remember watching was the Super Bowl, and I wasn't really rooting for a specific team as the game was going on. But towards the end of it, the Titans were making a comeback, and McNair was playing out of his mind, running all over the place, as was Eddie George. And I remember rooting for them towards the end of the game. When they lost, I was a little upset. And that was kind of like my moment. Eddie George was my hero, Steve McNair as well. Just those old school Titans that, much like recent years, were contenders back then but couldn't get over the hump. They wrote me in, and I'm a lot of things, and loyal is one of them. So it hasn't been easy these last 20 years, but going to ride with them till the very end. So that's my story.
Excellent. And now that we got that out of the way, we can enter the Twilight Zone. If you're not aware, let me fill you in. The Titans have lost 4 straight games. And this last one, I don't know, it might have been worse than the other 3, only because there were, again, just so many opportunities to win the football game. Final score 17-14, Los Angeles. I don't even know where to start here. If you've watched us before on this show, you've known that we all dislike Todd Downing. And to be honest, I'm sure a lot of you watching at home do as well. But this is just another instance where this football team just needed a little bit of guidance, a little bit of creativity, a little bit of knowledge of how to call plays offensively, and they would have gotten the job done. But unfortunately, this staff let them down once again. And they can't score more than 14 points in a 60-minute football game. It's embarrassing on all levels. We've been saying the same song and dance, and nothing's changing. No one seems to have any desire to make a change. But let's just jump right into this football game. I've had difficulty watching the highlights. I tried to do my best so I could be, knowledgeable of what took place on Sunday more than what I did when I watched it live. But Jarrett, start us off on what you felt watching this game and where you think this team lies right now in the standings.
Gonna throw a curveball in here because we can't skip past the fact that we lost to the Jaguars. So I want to hit on that game real quick before we go to the Chargers.
Yep.
Because that was embarrassing. The first time we lost in Nashville to the Jaguars since 2013. With the way we started the game, it was fresh. Derrick Henry had 96 yards in the first quarter. It was an all-time for him. After that, after the 15 scripted plays, he had 2 yards in the second half. He got animated a couple times on the offensive line because he's getting sick and tired of it too with the struggles, with the offense, as is us. He got into not Corey Brewer, Aaron Brewer's face. Say, Brew, just get one guy. I mean, he's getting hit in the backfield constantly all year, and it's just getting ridiculous, And at one point, even in that Jaguars game, we got outscored 26-0 against the Jaguars. Man, I mean that's putrid at home, needing a must-win game. And it's just embarrassing. And now coming into this game, it's just the same song and dance every week. The defense played well enough. I thought, people were, making their comments on Twitter saying, the defense is not elite. I saw your rant on Twitter, Sal, about saying, the defense wasn't elite, but I still think it is elite. We got after the quarterback. We contained Herbert a couple times. 17 points should win you an NFL football game. I mean, our offense just continues to struggle. And, we're going to get into the Tannehill thing, so I'm going to save that for later. But the offense, I think, was just okay, when it needed to be okay. But they need to be able to sustain drives. And sustaining drives, I'm saying, I think I missed a couple, but right now I believe we're at 48 3-and-outs, all year, and that's the worst in the NFL. I mean, that's ridiculous. With the best running back in the league, you take him out twice, 3rd and 2. In a crucial time of the game, he's off the field. He's your best player. You have nobody but Shake on offense right now because Traylon Burks is hurt. So I mean, you gotta find ways to get him the ball too. So I mean, in all this game was totally what I thought it would be. We were going to lose. There was no way we were going in LA. Beating the Chargers. The way we've been playing, and this is defeated and dead team to me right now because you even see locker room speeches with Kevin Byard and Ryan Tannehill. They just look absolutely defeated because they have no answers. Vin, what do you think about that game in LA?
Well, like you, I'm not going to gloss over the Jaguars either, but I'll give the Jaguars a little more credit than you did. These aren't your grandfather's Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence is a real quarterback, and Doug Peterson, I know all about him. Trust me. Being from this area. He's a real coach with a real quarterback with a lot of young talent, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, they loaded up in the offseason. And next year, we're going to be talking about them as our biggest competitor to win.
We're going to start talking right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll get to that point. But going forward is what I'm saying. They are, we always like to say as Titans fan, the Jags will jag. There's hype around them every which year, but now I think we can finally see them turning the corner. Unfortunate for us. I thought that game, looked good to start off, but, we can't sustain anything throughout the course of a game. We can't put together a full game on all 3 phases to save our lives. That game was embarrassing. Even though they beat us, I'm okay with losing, not really, but, we got our breaks beat by a division opponent in our own house. So it was a little bit of sour taste in our mouth. And I thought this week, I'm not going to lie, I thought it was going to be much worse than it actually was. I think we came here ready to play. We knew that it was kind of do or die. But unfortunately, we came up on the wrong side of things for the 4th week in a row. The defense, looked like they did in the beginning of the season. As of late, it's been tough because you can't carry a team for so long. The saying is bend, don't break. And they've been bending for so long to make up for our offense that it looked like the last few weeks they were starting to break. But yesterday, got some pressure, got a few sacks, was nice to see. But offensively, I said it the first or second week we started this season, we're going to struggle to score 20 points every game the whole year. And what us Paisans like to say sometimes is, it looks like you got ungats. You got nothing. We have absolutely nothing going for us. In the receiving core, on the offensive line, on the play calling, Our lone stud left, obviously, the king is he's the king, but he is human, and it's amazing that they game planned for him yesterday, and he still had over 100 total yards and a touchdown. So that only speaks, I don't need it goes without saying, really, but we have nothing. It is so vanilla, so predictable, and it seems like we're okay with it, which is frustrating me. There is no urgency to change or shake things up. The only thing that I kind of came out of yesterday with looking optimistic about it is Raduns look worlds better than Staley. We could have saved
the first couple plays he played.
Yeah, exactly. Before he went down, but that was nice to see. So maybe going forward, if he could stay healthy, that we might look a little better on that side of the ball. I don't know. That's me looking for a silver lining, but now it's crunch time because now they're a game behind us, the Jags, and we have no more room for error. There is a sense of dejection in the locker room with Bayard's interview. Vrabel looked very defeated today. So I don't know. Hopefully the Houston Texans cure all things, but at this point, and they're scoring points the last 2 weeks. They almost beat KC yesterday. The week before that, they almost beat Dallas. I mean,
Dallas this week. KC was last week.
No, KC was this week with
KC was
Houston,
this week.
And then Dallas was last week.
I'm an idiot. My bad.
Yeah. Both you keep interrupting me. It's right. You North Jersey people, I must be all right to do up there. But down here, we let people finish their fucking sentences.
Yeah.
Anyways, anyways, they're playing competitive now, scoring 20, 30 points a game. So it's no given that we beat them.
Absolutely not.
So transitioning back over to Salvatore, who do we want to talk about next? Our favorite offense coordinator?
Yeah, I don't really think there's any need for that at this point. Anyone who watches us regularly, it's like a broken record. So I'll just say it flat out, frank, like I always do. He's terrible. He's the worst offensive play caller in the league. He's got to go. He's not going to go. End of story. All right, so let's just open up the can of worms. There we go. That's my new favorite graphic. There he is, Bozo the Clown. Or I should say Todd Drunky Bozo the Clown. Anyway. So, by the way, that is just fantastic. And I wish we had that for the entire season of this show because we would have had a blast with that. But anyway, we'll have other opportunities to use it. Absolutely. Let's just open up this can of worms here. And I really don't care what anyone has to say. This is my opinion, and I'm going to stick with it.
We know that.
I genuinely don't understand. Well, I do understand. Okay. I understand why this isn't going to happen. But in the grand scheme of things right now, if you want to put this whole season in a vacuum and our future in a vacuum, it makes no sense to continue to let Ryan Tannehill play the remainder of the season now. Some people are going to just be like, whoa, are you out of your freaking mind? Let me explain something to everyone. First of all, he's very, very hurt. That is number one. Okay. You thought he was hurt before. He is even worse. Wait till you see him in practice this week. He might not even be able to drop back. That's how freaking hurt he is. His ankle is probably going to blow up to the size of a softball if it hasn't already. That's number one. And now every single game essentially is a playoff game because Jacksonville's not going anywhere. I already admitted I was wrong to say that we're still going to prance in the division title. It's not the case anymore. Didn't think Dallas was going to blow a lead and become an average football team, but that's besides the point. Malik Willis can do one thing, or actually I should say technically two things better than Ryan Tannehill, but the one is very, very important. He can evade sacks. Ryan Tannehill was sacked 4 times on Sunday, one of which was the biggest play of the game in which he could not afford to get sacked, took us out of field goal range, we tried it anyway, even though everyone on the planet knew Bullock wasn't going to make that. That's really the difference in the game. And if nothing else, it brings us to overtime, okay? Tannehill is a statue in the pocket. This team has no offensive weaponry as it is. So you have a guy, a young kid, who is incredibly fast, incredibly strong, has a bigger arm. Now, his accuracy is not there yet. Shake your head all you want. You're not telling me Tannehill has a better arm than Malik Willis. Is that what you're telling me, Jared, shaking your head?
I'll let you finish.
I just want, real quick, I want you to answer me yes or no. Do you think Ryan Tannehill has a better arm than Malik Willis?
I think Tannehill definitely throws a
Yes
better
or
deep
no?
ball accurately than Malik
Whoa.
Willis. Yes.
Whoa. First
Yes.
of all, how could you even make that assumption when Malik Willis has thrown one deep ball in his freaking career?
I've seen highlights in college.
Oh, my God. All right. Anyway, again, I want you to answer the question
Settle
yes or
down
no.
now.
Do you think his arm is better than Tannehill's? Yes or no? His strength, his arm strength.
He has a liver
arm.
Yes or no? All right, you're like a freaking lawyer now. All right. I feel like I'm on the bench. So
put him in the
here's
bedroom.
So, in my opinion, if I'm the general manager, I know a lot of you are thanking the Lord above I'm not. You play Malik Willis the rest of the year. I don't care. People are acting like Ryan Tannehill is John Elway, okay? Is he probably a better thrower right now? If you needed somebody to make a pass and hit somebody, is he probably the better guy to do it? Yes. But the bottom line is we have no offensive line and no receivers. So he's not doing enough. You need somebody who can do something different for this offense. And this kid can run. You saw the play I posted on Twitter today. It wasn't a third down, but it was a 2nd and 6. Would have been an instant sack from Tannehill. He breaks the tackle, gets a first down and slides. That extends drives. That gets you better possibilities for points. Okay? If we're talking about Aaron Rodgers on one ankle compared to Malik Willis, that's a different story. But this guy is just average, guys. Stop showing me stats about how many fucking wins he's had since 2017. It doesn't mean shit. I don't want to hear it anymore, okay? He doesn't make anyone else better around him. He can succeed with optimal pieces around him and great blocking. He can succeed. He can do enough. I used to compare him to Kirk Cousins. After last week, no. He's not. Kirk Cousins is better than him, too. Listen, he's got a lot more weapons.
Time out. What happened to Tannehill under Arthur Smith? He had 40 fucking touchdowns.
In the first round. Or no,
doesn't matter.
Arthur Smith took us to the AFC Championship game on the backs of Derrick Henry. That's what happened. Okay? Kid never threw fucking over 100 yards in a win. So
it's still
I don't know, or he didn't. He didn't throw over 100 in New England. He didn't throw over 100 in Baltimore. And then we got shellacked by Kansas City.
He's proven to be a quarterback. Okay, now let me take over. What
He's
you're saying?
I've been going on for a while now.
He is a mediocre quarterback at best. Okay, that's fine. You could say that all you want, but you know what? He is our quarterback who's led us to these things. On Sunday, what do we need for a drive down the field? He went 6 for 6 for 54 yards and a rushing touchdown right down the field to tie the football game.
One drive, yes, he did that.
Okay, but when you need him to do something, he will do it. Okay, with the shit that we have out there at wide receivers, he did it. Okay, he's been our guy, and he gives us the best chance to win these next 3 games because the way we look at it is different than the way the coaches in Nashville look at it because they need him and the best people on the field to win. They know Malik Willis is all about legs. I don't need a quarterback to scramble and run. You know what fixes all that? Helping Tannehill in the pocket, throw quicker passes. How about 2-second drop back? Boom. In the shotgun, boom, throw it like dinking dunks. Okay, who's at fault? Who's at fault for this right now? Todd Downing, throw the clown out there again. He is at fault for all this. He could scheme up to these plays, run a 5-yard, throw the 5-yard slant, catch the ball, throw a 5-yard dig, 5-yard out. I mean, he's standing in the pocket, and you're going to have Nick Westbrook-Akina, Robert Woods, Mason Kinsley go out there and try to beat an average cornerback at best or a top cornerback at best. It's not going to happen. You got to play to the ability to your wide receivers, and Todd Downing cannot do that.
Well, one thing I'm really tired of hearing, though, honestly, is that a lot of people say Malik Willis is just his legs. That's just not true, okay? Yes, maybe really, are we forgetting some of the really, really good balls he threw against Kansas City that were dropped? He's shown, again, this is a guy who's had 2 starts and a possession and never given an opportunity to actually try to be a real quarterback, and we're just assuming all he can do is run. That's just not true. The guy can throw a ball 60 yards in the air if he needed to, and he can throw in the run, and he's capable. We don't know okay, you know what? I shouldn't say capable yet because we don't necessarily know what his ceiling is. But people who just want to tell me that he's has no accuracy, he's miles and miles away, it's ridiculous. It really is. We don't know that. You can make your assumptions, but we don't know that. I saw him throw a ball at the Chris Conley yesterday. Looked like it was going 70 miles an hour. It was a rocket. Nobody was catching that ball besides Chris Conley. I couldn't believe he did. Okay, this guy's a pitcher. This guy's in the major league pitcher who can run a 4.4. That's what he is. And
yeah, but you could throw the ball like I said before the season started. Even when we drafted him, in the middle of this podcast, we said you could throw the ball 1,000 miles an hour. Can you throw it accurate? Can you make good decisions?
We've seen him do it. You didn't see him do it against Kansas City?
Come on,
I don't want to talk about Houston because they let him throw like 9 times. I'm talking about Kansas City. He didn't drop dimes with Kansas City.
He had 12 pass attempts. I'll give it to you. He had a couple good throws.
He had 12 passing attempts. What did you expect him to do? You expect him to return the Hall of Famer on 12 fucking attempts? We don't know what he's capable of. What we know right now is we have a quarterback who can't get out of his own way and doesn't make anyone better around him.
Who is tough as nails. Who was tough as nails, who had an ankle blown up as size of a marshmallow and still played when you had 2 to 3 guys every week that goes down that just sit on the bench. He is 17 is the toughest person on this roster, and I give him all. Doesn't matter. He's gotten us. Yeah, well, he's gotten us
$9 million a week checks.
Well, he gives us the best chance to win. I'll give you that. 100%.
All right, guys.
We're going to agree to disagree on this. And you know what? Listen, last thing I'll say is that I've been on him. I've been giving him slack again this year. I folded again, and I gave him an opportunity. But the bottom line is,
a couple weeks ago, you said you were never going to talk about him.
Listen, the nail in the coffin was the sack. You're a 10-year veteran. You know, you cannot take a sack on that play. You are in the league for a decade. And what does he do? He gets in the pocket, he freaks the fuck out, and he gets tackled, and that's it. You have to do anything and everything to make sure that you don't take a sack on that situation, and he did. And that's all I need to say. Because in the biggest moments, we're not talking 2019. We're talking this year. We're talking last year. In the biggest moments, I haven't seen him really do anything. I've seen him make one deep ball throw to A.J. Brown and win the division. Outside of that, I can't tell you what I don't have any memorable moments. I don't. I can tell you memorable moments for the last guy, even though he's not better. But how many memorable performances do you remember from Ryan Tannehill post-COVID? I can't remember any of them. So everyone has so much loyalty to this guy because we're in a terrible division. We've been in a terrible division for 3 freaking years now, and he's done enough to get us division titles. Okay? Nobody's telling me Ryan Tannehill is a 3-time AFC South champion if Deshaun Watson and Andrew Luck are still in the AFC South. And he's probably not even the quarterback still this year if they're still in the division. Okay? This guy was gifted a terrible division, and now half this fan base, it just wants to bow down to him because of what we had previously. And it's BS. We want Super Bowls. And this guy ain't going to do it. So let's just throw the kid in who is next in line, have an opportunity, and see what he can do. We're not going to the freaking AFC Championship game with Tannehill, even if Burks is back and freaking Autry's back and Fulton's back, because their OC sucks. I'm just saying we're not going anywhere. He's not coming back next year. So that's listen, your opinion's valid too. I'm talking. Vinny hasn't said a word in 20 minutes, so I got to stop talking. So let's talk about what we think about what.
I didn't get to talk about Tannehill.
You say whatever you want. You have the floor, my friend.
Thank you. Jesus, God.
We haven't really. That was the hottest we've gotten, I think, on this show ever. But
17 makes us crazy.
He does.
I'm 2 weeks ago, Sal was never talking bad about him again. Now he's ready to throw him to the fucking wolves. This kid changes his mind like an old Italian woman over here. But anyways, I usually do. I'm gonna try and mediate the whole thing and tell you why he should not play, but it's for a different reason other than why Sal thinks he shouldn't play. I don't want this kid to fucking die. I really don't. Excuse my language. It was irresponsible to put him back in that game yesterday, if you ask me. But our team is so desperate. Our coaches are so desperate to not let this season become a complete joke that, like Jared said, he gives us the best chance to win in their mind, and still in my mind at least, they threw him back in. Malik Willis, he can extend plays. He's been progressed a little bit, I guess, in his limited action from, when we first saw him to when we last saw him yesterday. But you can't expect much out of this kid. In my opinion, you can damage him if you throw him into the fire with this offensive line, with this receiving core. You can get this kid hurt. If you think he's your future going forward, I understand wanting to give him a look. He should play now because I don't think Tannehill is healthy enough. But if Tannehill, didn't get destroyed yesterday and, didn't re-injure his ankle, I think wouldn't even be a question. The reason why he should not play is because I don't think he's well enough. Malik Willis also played against the Texans, so it's a familiar opponent. So I would feel somewhat comfortable getting him back in there. And we might need to go to this kid down the line if we should win the division, because Tannehill's health right now, I mean, it's a coin flip. You don't know what you're going to get on a week-to-week basis. So Malik Willis should start this week, but it's not because we need to throw him in there to see what we got because he gives a better chance of winning, because he doesn't. Ryan Tannehill gives us the best chance to win. Sal wants to talk about we have this blind loyalty towards him. The guy before him gave us more memories, which he probably did, but the guy before him never was first or second in the league in offense, never went to an AFC title game, didn't win division titles back to back. So I understand where some of the loyalty lies amongst our Titans fan when it comes to 17. I personally think, I always treated him for what he is. He's a game manager who at times can look really good if he has talent around him, but when he doesn't, we're seeing with what we have now, and it's an inept offense. So he is what he is. I think going forward, he won't be here next year. To say 7's going to be our quarterback, I don't know, but it ain't going to be 17. So we'll see what happens going forward. But this week, Malik Willis should start because Ryan Tannehill is not healthy. And if we want Tannehill, or if Malik Willis steals the job and steals the show, you roll with the kid. But going forward, should we make the playoffs, 17 gives us our best chance. Thank you for giving me the floor for those 2 minutes after you guys had us for 15. Now I'm going to give it back to you guys.
Let me just say something, because you were making good points that 17 is the best chance, to lead us to victory. Under Todd Downing alone, right? I got stats here. With Tannehill as the quarterback and Arthur Smith as the offensive coordinator, we went from total yards being second in the NFL to now under TD, we're 17th. Points per game went from 4th to 5th. In 2020, our points per game were 30.7. 2021, under Todd Downing when he took the job, 24.6. And now this year, 18.5. So, I mean, you can't tell me that it's all on him. It's got to be – I mean, we all know, we all agree Todd Downing is the worst. So, clearly, those numbers right there have been the last 2 years of this team, the downfall.
I agree.
It can't be all on Tannehill.
But again, it doesn't change the fact that he's not a playmaker. He's not. Come on, every quarterback in the league has a flash. Mitch Trubisky's made a few big plays in his career. He's not a playmaker.
Please,
I'm just saying. Gardner Minshew, he's made a few big throws in his career.
Stop.
No, listen. I'm just saying Tannehill's better than both of them. I mean, I don't know about Minshew, to be honest, but that's besides the point. But he's not a playmaker.
Guy's name over here before he sues you for
misinformation
or something.
He's not a playmaker, guys.
I beg to differ.
All right,
that's it. I mean,
so
one last thing. One last thing to bring up as well. You brought up Mariota. I want to say something else. Bottom line is this: Mariota had 1 year of prime Derrick Henry. He had Watson most of his career in Tennessee and AFC South with him. No, seriously. The Jaguars were better his first 2 years. Jaguars were a playoff team his first 2 years. And he had Delaney Walker.
Listen, few people
that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Few people love him more than I do. But, if you're going to call for what it is with Tannehill, then you have to call for what it is with Mariota. And
yes, I already said Tannehill's
the proof
better.
is in the pudding with where we've been with Tannehill and where we were with Mariota. Listen, I was at my brother's apartment for the playoff game when he threw the touchdown to himself. I will remember that for the rest of my life. Suck-up's game-winning kick against Kansas City. What was it? The year before that? Mm-hmm. And then he broke his leg the following week. Like, so many memories with him. But, I mean,
But how much better are we if Tannehill was with us in 2015? Let me ask you. I mean, honestly, because you're seeing now
who's his offense coordinator?
Whoever it is, it could have been Arthur Smith. Could have been Arthur Smith. It could have been whoever. I mean, really, how much better? I mean, what are we going to – were we going anywhere in 2015, 2016, 2017 with him? I just – listen, I've given him enough chances. I've given him enough chances. I'm over it. I'm done. He's not in the caliber of quarterbacks in the class to win a Super Bowl. He's just not. That's the end of story. Malik Willis probably isn't ready to be in the conversation either. But Tannehill, really, you need everything to go right. You need great blocking. You need great receivers. You need everything to go right for this guy to succeed. I'm done with it. I'm done.
And it was Brad Johnson
until next week.
No. He could throw for 350 next week. I have no faith in him when the game's on the line. Yeah, record
that, please.
Record it. You saw Justin Herbert, and people are like, "Oh yeah, Tannehill's made a ton of throws like that." No, we're talking about a roll right to the freaking sideline, throwing a ball directly to a guy's hand who's covered. I've never seen Tannehill do anything like that before. That's a guy who can make a play in January. That's a guy you want to go in the playoffs with. Not this fucking guy who can't even throw over 100 yards in January. Needs his running back to get 600 yards and throw a touchdown to win a game. I'm done. I'm done with it. There's no more going back on the train. I'm done with it. The season's over anyway, but I'm done with it. I'm over him, and the plaque is not coming out of the box. I thought it might. I thought there was a chance. It's still in the fucking box, and it's not coming out of the box. I'm selling it, and that's it. So
donate it to Goodwill if you hate it that bad.
Well, I pay too much money to hand that bitch away. I'm gonna find some. Yeah. Maybe I'll sell it to Jarrett. Jarrett, you probably would love it. He's your boy. You put it right next to that Derrick Henry thing.
Yeah, I got the Derrick Henry. I got my Eddie George signed. It's going up in a couple weeks, so see what happens with that.
Sal's face look like a nice Merlot right now. Nice red Merlot.
It is. Yeah, and I don't know why. Why I don't even know why any of us are getting so upset.
We're so passionate. It's the passion. That's why.
Yeah, but
we're true fans.
Terrible.
Oh, of course.
I mean, really. Right now. I watched a couple of Colt podcasts yesterday. I didn't even see them get this upset, and they're in even a worse spot than we are. But
watching a Colt podcast. All right then.
I did it because it was I enjoy watching their anguish. That's why I would do it. Whenever they have an awful loss, I watch it because it's fun to watch them cry. Yeah, no, I could give a shit about Colt podcast, but so we got a matchup coming up on Thursday. I'm thinking the Texans with a T. On Sunday with the 1-win Houston Texans. Right now the line's opening up at Tennessee -7, which is really, if you have money to blow, I mean, God almighty, I would put every expendable nickel I have on Houston +7.
Absolutely.
But, clearly, again, there's something Vegas believes in that we don't understand.
That's the first time they ever believed in us because the lines, for as long as I can remember, always disrespecting us. The one time they shouldn't be respecting us because we can't fucking beat anybody is the one time they do respect us with the 7, which my radar goes out to me. They're begging you to take the Texans, Do our boys show up and blow them out of the water? But anyways, I don't want to interrupt you,
This guy. All right, Jarrett, what do we got to do to win this game? Obviously, it's a must-win. What's your keys to victory for Tennessee?
If Treylon Burks gets back, how about get Chig and Treylon Burks involved on the offense quick so it opens up holes for Derrick Henry, and hopefully Dylan Radunes is healthy enough to go this week because I am so sick and tired of watching
it can't be
71.
It can't be.
It can't be because I'm sick of it's 20 sacks already by him on the left-hand side, and it's very easy to game plan against us. The three of us can do it. I'm sending the whole defense on the right-hand side at this guy, and I'm getting to the quarterback in 1 second because it's every third down that's happening. But, and defense, getting after with Damian Pierce, he's out for the Texans now. So I don't even know who they have. Marlon Mack, who probably
I don't know. I don't even know if what's his name will be back. Cooks.
Yeah, Cooks.
He didn't play last week.
Still, they got the other receivers. Is Kuti or whatever his name is, whatever.
That's whatever. I don't know if he's on.
What's his name?
But that's sad that we have to potentially worry about guys named Kiki.
Yeah, Kiki QT or whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah.
You know, listen,
Well,
Ingram went off for a couple,
Oh, yeah.
160 yards. This guy, Kiki QT or whatever the hell his name is, he's
we're
gonna go
gonna
for 215 this week against our weak ass secondary.
Yeah.
But no, just the same formula, man. Just get after David Mills, stop the run. Even though Marlon Mack is probably gonna have a career day too. Even if he is the running back, someone help me out with that. Because Damian Pierce is out, but
yeah, I don't know. They got Burkhead too. They got Burkhead.
Oh yeah, Burkhead is a
Royce
tight killer.
Royce Freeman is actually the Houston running
Did
back.
Burkhead have like
Royce
140 yards on us last year?
Yeah, remember that?
Oh Lord, Vin.
Yeah, Royce Freeman will go for 120 in the touchdown.
I mean, to be honest with you, it sounds a lot easier said than done. But just get a fucking win. I don't care how you got to do it. Ugly, beautiful, just get a win. I mean, it is it's we can't take much more of this, and if we thought our morale was shot before, if we lose and the Jags win, because they got the Jets on Thursday night, very winnable game, albeit they lost Cam Robinson today. So don't wish injury on anybody, but that helps us out a little bit. So, but if they win and we lose and they're tied, I mean, just hand the fucking division to Jacksonville, because they got Houston. If we're tied for the division lead after this week, and then we got to play Dallas, where we're going to get fucking shellacked, and then we got to finish with Jacksonville in Jacksonville. On the road. Yeah, it's going to be assalamu alaikum is what they like to say, if that's the case. But I mean, we should beat them. We should get Burks back. The bright spot I talked about earlier on in the show, I should have brought up Chig. I know I brought up Radoon's looking competent at left tackle before he got hurt, but Chig is having the best rookie year out of any tight end. It's not even really close, really, if you look at the numbers. And Kid has made it known that he's going to be a playmaker, hopefully, for years to come, if we do the right thing by him and don't, hype him up for 3 years and then trade him, God forbid. But yeah, get him involved, get Burks involved, get Henry obviously involved, hopefully in the passing game too as well. And let's get ahead on him, and let's not have to sweat out this win, please, to a 11-1 team, 1-12-1, whatever they are. Let's just get a win. We're home, right?
Yes, we are.
Home. So not to say we have much of a home field advantage anyway, especially nowadays, but just get a win any which way possible. I believe we will win, though. I truly believe it.
Yeah, I do too. Honestly, believe it or not, somehow, some way, I do feel we're going to win this game, because this is a first for a lot of people. This is a first for Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's never lost 4 games in a row in his career. So
in his life, probably
in his life. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Probably in his life. And this is a back against the wall game at home. Obviously Thursday night is going to be like watching a Titan game for us. We're all going to be rooting for our hometown Jets in that one.
Maybe we'll all go to that and wear Jets jerseys.
You know what? Honestly, if that's what it took, I would paint my whole freaking body green, and I'd wear a fireman helmet and everything else. I'd do whatever's necessary. The weather's showing 46 and rainy, so maybe we'll keep an eye on that. See, they're probably handing tickets away because the Jets are falling apart. But
since it's in my backyard right now, it's definitely not 46 anywhere close.
Yeah, right now it's snow territory. But listen, the bottom line is this: first thing we need to do is find somebody who can catch a punt. All right, somebody who can consistently catch a punt, because I swear to God, I can't deal with my heart skipping 6 beats every time we return a punt. Find anybody that can look in the air, track down a ball, and not bobble it. That's number one. That's how you're going to win. Number 2, play action every throwing down, okay? Every single one, every throw, fake the handoff to Derrick Henry. It cannot hurt. It can only help. I've been saying it for a freaking 5 years, okay? Every time you throw, pretend you're going to hand it to Derrick Henry. Blitz. I mean, most times we blitzed on Sunday. It worked. I think we need to make Davis Mills as uncomfortable as possible. They're kind of clicking right now offensively. So, we got to hope we get Fulton back, hope we get Autry back. Listen, they got to play. This is a freaking playoff game. This is the easiest game we have of the last three. It's a dire win. Everyone needs to play. If Autry can do one swing move on the practice field, he's got to play. I don't care how hurt he is. He needs to freaking play. I guess in hindsight, you can say, well, if he gets hurt again, well, what's the point? But they're never making the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, this is a playoff game essentially. So if Burks is back, you got to throw him the ball often. Chig is clearly one of the better guys, one of the better set of hands on the team. Got to get him more involved. Hooper's got to get more involved. Keep Mason Kinsey off the field if he, hopefully he's not on the roster for this week. And that's really it. That's all you can ask for. If this crowd has anything left in them, they got to show up and they got to get loud for this team if they want to see a game in January. And that's really all she wrote for this team. I mean, this is a playoff game on Saturday, so. I'm actually going to be working, so I don't know. This is going to be a really nightmare situation for me. But I'm going to see. Maybe my boss will let me leave so I can watch it. But besides the point, anything else you guys want to add before we wrap up? We got a nice quick 40 minutes that felt like 5 minutes. Thanks to all the arguing we were doing.
Let's throw our predictions in real quick. See how
yes,
accurate
absolutely.
we are.
Then start us off.
24-14 Titans.
Jared?
I'm gonna go with a field goal game, even though we can't make field goals, and I can't even believe that I was having a fight with a couple people on Twitter last night about the kicking game, and they were really defending Randy Bullock for missing that kick. Because I made a tweet yesterday, not to go on a little tangent. I made a tweet yesterday. I said, "Remember we made that? We missed that field goal. Yeah, thanks Bullock. Oh no, it wasn't him. It was Dennis Daly and Ryan Tannehill. Blah blah. You're in the NFL. You got to be able to kick field goals, especially one 50-yard field goal. Per year.
After 40, he's sketchy. It's sad.
It's ridiculous.
And it's back to his Cincinnati days, too. The guy's been dog shit for a while. I'm one of his biggest haters. Fat Randy should go sit on the couch and eat and not kick field goals, at least not for us, because it is atrocious. And now we who did we have for 1 week? And then we was it
the rookie from Iowa?
No, not the rookie. The week before that.
Oh, Lambo. Josh Lambo.
Yeah, well he didn't miss any kicks. We didn't miss any kicks.
No, he missed an extra point. We went over this already.
He missed an extra point.
Okay, well.
But it was in Lambeau. That was the excuse we gave him.
Listen, Bullock can go along with a list of everybody else next year.
We'll get there. I don't want to waste my time talking about
the score prediction. I even can't believe that I'm going to even go this high, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's going to be 23-20 us.
Well, listen, you know what? If they get
Traylon Burks, Chase,
back. Yeah, listen, they've scored over 20 before with this kid having a career game. So that's what's going to need to happen. They're going to need to stop running the fucking ball on 3rd and 13 and conceding the possession like they continue to do every week. And they need to do whatever's necessary to win. So if that means getting Todd Downing, Johnny Walker IV, then whatever they got to do, they got to figure a way to get this team a W. Just to quickly add to Randy Bullock point, he's been wildly inconsistent. Yes, he's had good games where he's made 4 or 5 field goals in a game and won it. But when the chips are on the 30 table,
yards.
When it boils down to a game winner, he's the last guy you want.
I think week one we all knew he wasn't making that field.
Oh yeah,
100%. I was sitting
and
right
Pittsburgh
on my
last year, we knew he wasn't making that one. I mean, it just goes on and on.
Yeah.
Listen, my score prediction, because again, I can't get them over 20 until somebody gives me a reason to.
Unless Malik Willis is playing, then we might drop 40 on him, right?
because because he'll run for 160 yards and have 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah,
which
gold
give
jacket.
him
the jacket.
Justin Fields on our team.
Absolutely. We'll be content with giving Derrick Henry 60 carries for 55 yards, but nobody wants Malik Willis to run because that's not what we drafted him for. But anyway, I digress. My score prediction is going to be 17-13 Tennessee.
Similar to the first time.
Yeah. What's that?
Similar to the first time.
Yeah, something like that, probably. I mean, assuming we're going to get Autry back and Fulton back, and McCreary's been playing pretty well. I don't know.
Coolest interception I've ever seen in my life.
Absolutely, yes.
There's an award at the what's the sports award show? I forget what it's called.
ESPYs.
We need to get that on play of the year maybe. That's
football
cool.
IQ.
That was like some elementary school, like, tossing the ball back into your boy. Yeah, that was awesome.
Absolutely.
Anyways.
Two incredible. I mean, Kalu was just as incredible in that play as McCreary was.
Absolutely.
Top 10 Titan play. I tweeted it. I think you look at, miraculous Titan plays, it's top 10 easily. So that's about it. 17-13 is my prediction. We will be back probably. We got to talk to our guys. I don't know, we'll probably be back Monday. And then we're going to start doing post-game, pre-game, a little bit shorter. And we'll have more structure. We'll do segments, a lot less screaming probably. But then again, who knows where this team's headed.
They love it. They love it.
Yeah.
But, if you're listening to us on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe. Make sure to check us out on Twitter at Sick Pod Titans. And our YouTube is Sick Podcast Talking Titans. And we're going to be doing big things. We're excited to get the ball rolling with this crew. And we're happy to join up with the Sick guys. And that's it. As always, tighten up. And Sammy, you can sign us out.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Talking Titans on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.